Everybody, I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show where we watch old 16mm films. But who cares?
We're waiting breakfast on you. You're going to be late for school. Seconds or else. You're going to get it. You hear?
Walk me to school? Sure. You know Junior's waiting for me downstairs. Walk yourself. Oh, and take good care of my jacket. Might be wanting it back sometime. When's the nap was uncalled for? And it is now. By the way, haven't you forgotten something? My math homework. Gee, thanks, Mom. You just saved my life.
Now.
Oh, Cheryl, let me fix your sleeves. And do me and yourself a favor today. Smile just a little bit, okay? Good. Oh, the baby.
Go on, Mom. cares? Who cares anyway? Okay, kids, hand it over. Hand over that stick. Who's gonna make the Get him, Charles, get him. Who cares anyway? He can have the old broke-up stick. He can have the whole school. You should have got him anyway. Teddy bear, teddy bear, teddy bear, teddy bear, show your shoes. Teddy bear, 21 shoes. Teddy bear. Teddy bear, run up the stairs. Teddy bear, teddy bear, teddy bear, teddy bear, teddy bear.
Charles? Is that you, Charles Simmons? Young man, I think it's imperative that you finish your education.
Charles? Yes, you. Come on up. I can't accept this. Not when we both know you can do better.
Who cares?
I hope I didn't hear what I think I heard you say. Let's hope not. Class, this morning we must finish the tryouts for the leader of our band. Let's get down to business and see if we can't choose someone before lunchtime. Hurry up, class. Carol, will you be first?
Yes.
Ready, Carol? Okay, 1, 2, start. How about Charles leading the band? Ready, Charles?
1, 2, ready,
Charles. You care. Lots of people care.
So it's a gray, rainy day here in Raleigh, where we are in the AV Geeks archive, and so it's kind of meh today. But whenever I watch that film, I get very excited because I identify so much with Charles and his experience, feeling, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, just this general ennui. So Charles is a hero in my heart. I was looking to see, I saw him, I feel like in an Alphabets commercial. It might have been a Honeycomb commercial. I gotta look and see that I digitized like years ago for the Duke Ad Views project. And I was trying to find him. I think he's riding a bike. So I think the prize with the Honeycomb is a bike. Anyways, I wanted to find that to show to you, but I couldn't find it. Let's see. So behind me, I have film scanner set up, and I have 3 films that I've actually queued up because showing the shorter films, that's where I run into the tension issues. So we're going to watch 3 films. The first one is Uncle Jim's Dairy Farm, and this is the first edition of it, which I didn't know existed. There was an edition featuring John Cusack, which was the 3rd edition, and then the 2nd edition, which I didn't know was a 2nd edition, was that a Jam Handy film? No, I can't remember. But anyways, this one is beautiful color. So enjoy.
Guests from the city, Uncle Fred and Aunt Alice and cousins George and Betty to visit them. And this is a special visit. After Uncle Fred and Aunt Alice return to the city, George and Betty are going to spend the summer with Jane and Andy on the farm. First into the house to get settled. Now Andy and Jane show their city cousins the farm. Let's start with the cow barn. It's an interesting place. The cow barn is clean and airy. Here's Big Brother Bill putting the feed in for the cows.
Hi, kid. Bill, what is this the cows eat?
This is a special mixture of ground grain for cows. They eat grass, hay, and silage, too. Cows need good food to give you the milk you like so well, George.
Uncle Jim is getting the cows ready for milking.
Do you wash the cows?
Sure. We must keep them clean. You see, clean, healthful milk comes only from clean, healthy cows. They must have good food, plenty of clean, fresh water, and a clean, comfortable place to live. Animals are like you. They need good food, a nice, clean, comfortable place to live in order to grow up and stay strong and healthy. Bill, I'll finish up in here. Throw some hay down to the cows, will you?
Okay, Dad. Come on, gang, let's go.
Come on, kids, let's play follow the leader. Oh, my, this is awesome. When you do this, hang on tight or you'll skin your hand. Okay, I'll be careful. Whee! Come on, George. Hurry course he can't do it. None of us can do it. We're not big enough. When we get as big as you are, Andy, we'll be able to do that easy, won't we?
That's right. I guess you're right. I am bigger than you are. Besides, I do this every day almost.
Sure. And the bigger and stronger you grow and the more you practice, the more things you can do. Like feeding the animals. That's what I'm going to do now. You want to help?
Oh, boy, can we?
Sure. And soon you'll be big enough to do it all by yourself. Come on, let's go.
Oh, here's the new calf and its mother. It's only 2 days old, but it knows where to find its dinner. Andy will feed the calf when it is big enough to drink milk from a pail and eat other foods. The cow which is grown up eats grain, grass, silage, and hay to help her in making milk. She drinks lots of clean water. We all need good food to grow and stay healthy. But we better get on with the feeding. First, Jane wants to show Betty the baby lamb. These baby pigs are hungry. Perhaps that's why their manners aren't good. Baby pigs eat a mixture of milk and ground grains. When they grow big enough, they also eat corn and other kinds of feed grown-up pigs eat. Pigs must have clean and comfortable houses and yards and room to play. Chickens, too, have a clean place to live. They eat grains and milk mixed with other feed. Betty and Jane love to feed the baby chicks. It's Andy's job to feed the puppies. They're strong and healthy and happy. He feeds them well, and they play and sleep. Jane's kittens do, too. This one wants to go down and join the others at the pan of milk. There's the supper bell. The children wash quickly because they're hungry. Aunt Helen is a very good cook. Look at all the good things to eat. We all know that good food helps us grow bigger and stronger, to be able to do more things and have more fun. Jane is finishing her milk. She wants more, but she remembers to pour another glass first for Betty. The children get ready for bed. They're very sleepy.
Good night, Betty. Good night, Jane.
This is the way the summer went, with fun and play and work. The children helped with the chores, took care of Andy's calf, and helped Aunt Helen. They had good things to eat. They grew bigger and stronger. They worked and played in the fields and learned interesting things. Early in the summer, the corn was only as high as George's knee. But now, near the end of summer, the corn is taller than George. Corn grows fast. Andy's calf is bigger. See how the lambs have grown. And the pigs really aren't babies anymore. The little chicks are grown. Now the summer is over. It's time for George and Betty to return to the city. They've had a fine time, and they've grown. Father is proud. He can hardly believe that George is so strong. Betty has grown too.
I drink milk at every meal now, Mother.
Grown. They've had play in the sunshine, good sleep, and plenty of milk and other good foods.
Part of the Dairy Council teaching us about nutrition and about food and all that, but also inserting dairy into our diet. I have so many films about nutrition that are brought to us by the Dairy Council. It's interesting. All right, this one is Rains on the Plain.
Not so long ago, the great plains of our country were covered with grass and livestock. But gradually, as the region developed, the land was overgrazed and used too hard. Over large areas, farmers finally replaced the ranchers and began plowing the soil. At intervals during each year, the land was left bare, and much of the little rain that fell ran off. Lacking water, the cultivated soil dried to powder and was unable to produce the grass or crops that would have anchored it. More and more of the dry soil began to blow, and then, in the time of drought, giant dust storms became familiar spectacles. On May 12, 1934, for the first time since the white man came to America, the sun was darkened over the nation's capital by dust blown from the plains. New York, Philadelphia, and other eastern cities had the same experience. The big dust storms came only once or twice a year, but even more destructive were the steady, sweeping winds, lasting many months each year and keeping the dry, powdery soil restless and unproductive. The shifting sand drifted over cropland, choked out plant life, and was a constant threat to adjoining fields. The wind sifted the soil, carried off the fine particles, and left behind the coarse, infertile sand. Some of the restless soil piled up in great drifts, all but obliterating fence rows and highways. Often it covered buildings, buried sheds and farm machinery, and even formed great drifts around homes. No land could withstand such punishment indefinitely. Without erosion control, the soil of the plains would have been impoverished, incapable of producing crops, and barely able to support the native grasses. But the seeming hopelessness of some of the land did not doom the region to ruin by wind erosion. Conservationists knew that rainfall on the plains, if saved, was usually sufficient to support production. With rain properly stored in the ground, grass and crops would flourish, the soil would be anchored against dust storms, and there would be an end to erosion. Over the years, farmers and ranchers came to rely on practical measures especially designed to conserve soil and water. Contour tillage, for example. This means plowing across the slope of the land on the level so that each furrow forms a little dam to hold the rain. Terraces supplement contour tillage. They are simple to build, and in the course of just a few years, they save a lot of soil and water. When properly built and maintained, terraces conserve the rainfall that furrows are unable to hold, and water that once ran to waste is held and stored in the soil. On pasture land, ranchers turn to contour furrows to help hold back the water. The moisture that is saved helps nourish a better cover of grass. On the plains, strip cropping on the contour means planting strips of wind-resistant crops, such as sorghums, between strips of other crops. In the small grain sections, strips of wheat are planted between strips of sorghums. On level land, strip cropping need not follow the contour, for there is little danger of the water running off. Badly damaged fields that were likely to become dangerous blow spots were taken out of cultivation and sodded with grass. A simple device on a truck did the job. In other troublesome areas, the soil was anchored against the wind by planting grasses. Where there were drifts of soil and sand, the land was first leveled and then stabilized with a cover of grass. More and more farmers left a good stubble on their fields after harvesting to tie down the soil, and cattle weren't allowed to graze it too closely. Quick-growing trees adapted to the semi-arid climate were planted along field borders to break the sweep of the wind, and many farmers and ranchers began using trees as windbreaks for their homes. Earth dams were constructed in natural depressions to store water. Stock watering ponds, evenly distributed, brought more uniform grazing and cut down the erosion. Where conservation methods are practiced, the water is saved, the soil anchored, and crops are abundant. In contrast, where conservation methods are not used, the rainfall is not stored for productive use. The crops suffer, and the danger of soil blowing remains. The soils of the plains are as productive as any in the world. If the land is protected and rain stored in the soil, there will be no more soil blowing. The fields will bring forth bumper crops of wheat, cotton, and sorghums. And with reasonable grazing, the range will bear a blanket of rich grass. Today, by working together in soil conservation districts and with technicians of the Soil Conservation Service, an ever-growing number of farmers and ranchers are ensuring the future of their land and its productivity.
right, so hopefully this last one won't get me in trouble. This is from the National Film Board of Canada, but it's not a hockey game.
Betty.
Here I am.
Here, happy birthday.
Gee, thanks. Here you are.
Oh, I said
Hello,
Betty.
everybody.
Oh, hi, Miss
Hello, Bert. Hello, Kay. What's the matter?
Oh, for heaven's sake. You better let me take this.
Hey, aren't you going to open it now?
No, I'll take them up to the lodge with me. Betty can open them after the birthday cake.
Oh, I see.
Gosh, Bert, what is it? So heavy.
It's a kitty car for your 13th birthday. Oh, hi, Jim. Congratulations. You were terrific yesterday. Thanks, Bert. No kidding, Jim. I think it's terrific. Our class president is ski champion.
Well, thanks. Just school champion. When is the inter-school championship?
In 2 weeks.
We'll all be out there cheering, won't we?
And I'll be there too, Jim. We're very proud of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Laird. I don't think I'll win, though.
I'm quite sure that someday you'll be an Olympic champion.
Well, hello, everybody. Gang all here now?
Yeah.
Good. Well, you better get started now. Time's getting on. And we'll see you all at the lodge at 3:30. Okay? See you then. Bye, kids. Bye. We'll see you then. Bye.
Well, who's going to lead this expedition?
Jim, lead on.
Who, me?
Come on, Jim.
Goodbye, Jim.
Goodbye.
We'll see you later.
Oh, you're not kidding, it is.
Goodbye, boys.
Bye.
Bye.
You got something for your head,
Yes, I have.
Russell?
Yep.
Goodbye. I'll have some nice hot food for you. Goodbye.
Good.
Hey!
Hey. Come on. Gee, I'm hungry. What time is it?
It's 2:45.
More than halfway there. Won't be long now. Anyone call?
No!
Think I'll go start the game. Hey, a buffalo tail. We'll eat before sundowner. My name isn't Robinson Crusoe. Oh, take it away. Let's go. Come on, slow it down. Too bad I forgot my bow and arrow. Look, isn't that nice? Why don't we go this way, Jim?
Well, we usually walk beside the woods.
Let's try a new way. Isn't it pretty in there?
Well, there's a road on the other side, I know.
And the woods aren't very big.
The path's going in the right direction.
Let's go, eh, Jim?
Okay, I guess it'll be all right.
I think we'd better stay in the field.
Why?
It's easy to get lost, even in a small forest. It really is.
Don't worry, Russell. Come on, everybody.
Did you ever spend much time in a forest?
Jim knows the way. He didn't say so.
Hey, Andy, what's that?
Hey, come here.
Oh, it's big. Golly. It's big.
Maybe it's a hawk or something. I think it's an owl. You can tell. It looks like an old broken down crow's nest. And owls start nesting this time of year. Say, we better get going. Come on. Let's go. Hurry up. Come on.
Let's sing.
How about Alouette?
Alouette,
John the Alouette, Alouette, John the Alouette. It's 3:15.
I suppose if we'd gone by the field, we'd be there now.
Hey, Jim, sure we're going the right way?
The road's over there. The field's on the right. If we keep going, we'll see the lodge soon. I kept track of the turns. We're heading north. That's the right direction.
The sky's clouded over. We can't check our direction.
But I'd say north that way.
Gosh, I hope we're not lost.
Don't worry. We'll be there soon.
Gets dark in the woods early. We haven't much time.
Looks like it's gonna snow. I'm getting cold.
Well, let's not waste time. Come on.
I don't think we should go that way, Jim.
But we're almost there.
But we're not sure of that, and if we start now, we've just enough day left to get back to the field.
Look, even if it gets dark, we'll be okay. We can see the lights from the lodge. From the road, too.
We might not see them. The trees are pretty thick around here.
We'll see them.
Maybe, but I still think we should go back to the field.
We're late already. Gee, Mother and Dad'll be worried.
Besides, how do you know you'll get back to the field? There's lots of different paths.
Well, I know it's very easy to go in circles in the woods, so I broke off branches along the way. Dad always does that.
I don't know what you're all so worried about. Jim will get us out. Come on, everybody. I'm starved.
I'm going back with Russell.
Me too. Okay, anybody that wants to go with Russell, go ahead. I'm going with Jim.
Same here.
Let's have a race. See who gets there first.
I'm going with Russell.
Let's hurry before it gets dark.
Come on, Jim.
Let's go.
Stop, everybody. Come on back.
Hey, what's the matter?
Come on back, everybody.
Daddy, hurry up. It's getting late.
If we don't hurry, we won't be able to see the branches I broke off.
I know, but listen. I don't think we should split up. It's dangerous. We should all stick together.
Maybe she's right. Come on, let's all go with Jim.
No, let's all go with Russell.
Maybe we could climb a tree or something and
Yeah.
see where we are.
Say, that's an idea. Gee, there's a big one over there.
I'll go with you, Jim. Let's hurry. I'll come too. Let's go.
Better stamp your feet to get cool.
Gee, Mother and Dad will be worried.
We'll be a little bit late, but we'll get there. Jim will get us out.
Just because he's class president and ski champion doesn't mean he can get us out of here. I think we should stop wasting time and go with Russell. He knows how to get out.
He says he knows how.
Well, I trust him, and he marked the path, so he does know.
Don't you trust Jim?
Yes, of course I do, but right now I think Russell's right. Does anyone else have any ideas? Do you know how to get out, Ian?
Gosh, no, I was just following along.
Me too.
That means we'll have to follow Russell or Jim.
Well, I think Jim's terrific. He can do anything.
He can do a lot of things, but that doesn't mean he can do everything, does it, Helen? No, that's just what I mean.
Jim just happens to be the most popular person in the whole school, that's all.
Look, we've got to get out of here.
Everybody agreed to follow Jim in this hike. After all, how would he feel if we all just left him? It wouldn't be fair.
We can't worry about that now. The important thing is to get out. Who's the best leader for that?
I wish they'd hurry.
Hey, Jim, Russell, here we are. Have you climbed that tree yet? We can't get up any higher. The branches keep breaking off. We're coming back.
Gosh, I'm scared.
Let's decide quick. Who do we follow?
I gotta find more in that series. Those open-ended films are always my favorite. Especially ones that were made in the 50s, because that became more of the style of educational film in the late 70s, being open-ended. And a lot of people hate those types of films. They want there to be a clean, neat narrative that will guide them through everything. All right, let's have some movie memories. Enjoy.
The thaumatrope, one of the first optical illusions of continuous movement. Here's use of a screen. What? Playing with fire? Oh, naughty boy. And playing coy. Jim the fireman had gone to bed, was quickly roused and quickly fled. They're getting the engine away from the shed. Poor little devil, did you hear that cry? Aloft Jim went, the risk to take. He's upside down, it's my mistake. He saved the child as can be seen. A hero, Jim. God save the Queen. About this time, 1887, an American, George Eastman, was separating the films from a series of photographic dry plates showing a subject in movement. Experimenting with various pliable transparent bands, including celluloid, he thus anticipated the idea of the roll film to come. His friend Edison promptly used it in conjunction with his kinetoscope machines, nickel-in-the-slot peep shows, into which only one person could look at a time. Edison also set up a company to produce short films. The music hall was the film's first contact with the stage, but no one at that
of Rochester, who had perfected it for his Kodak camera. Eastman's film solved Edison's film problem. In this crude wooden cabinet is the actual machine built by Edison in 1889 to use the roll film. This is the film take-up mechanism. Here is the negative of one of those films. Notice that the images are exposed horizontally along the film, the circular aperture, and the sprocket holes along one edge. Watch this 1889 motion picture. It's a scale model. The entire building revolved on wheels, for Edison had installed a much larger kinetograph, and everything had to be brought to the camera, including the sun's rays, admitted by adjusting the panels in the roof. William K.L. Dixon, one of Edison's principal assistants, said, "We find that the contrasts are affected by the total exclusion of light from the lower end of the hall, heightened by draperies of impenetrable black, against which stands out in sharp relief the central stage, on which are placed the kinetographic subjects, bathed in the full power of the solar rays, put into the Copyright Office with the necessary 50 cents. Started by Edison in 1894, this procedure became the accepted method of copyrighting motion pictures, until later, when entire films were printed on paper rolls, each roll being copyrighted as a single photograph. The American Motion Picture Theater is popularly dated from April 23rd, 1896, when motion pictures were shown as part of a program at a Broadway theater, Coster and Beale's Music Hall. Motion pictures had been achieved. The projector was the Vitascope, built by Edison from the design of Thomas Armot of Washington, D.C. Almost simultaneously, cameras and projectors were invented in the United States and abroad. This is the Jenkins. From England came the Damany Gaumont camera projector. This bulky American mutograph camera was set up by its crew all over the world to make pictures for the mutis cards attached to the rotating wheel give the impression of continuous motion.
Barns, old buildings, basements. Empty shops, disused premises of all descriptions to show the flickies in 1900, chiefly trick films and topicals. Battling. This was in 1897. Watch for the little old lady with the parasol in the carriage. 60 years a queen.
The Black Mariah, set on a pivot on a circular track to follow the sun. And there's the second Edison studio of 1909. The glass walls enabled him to utilize the full strength of the sun. Scene projector known as the oil projector. This is a polyoscope, invented in 1908 by the first man ever to make motion pictures in California, William Seelig. Titles came into being. And here are some posters advertising the early movies. Movies were brand new and the public had to be convinced. So a sample of the film was given out to people on the street in front of the theaters to show them what it was all about. Otherwise, they might have gone in and become frightened. And heavens knows what might electric theater of 1908. Some electric.
We're all set for the performance. But our way, I'm not so sure. This takes time. Yes, that goes down there and round here, and the pianist is getting nervous. We're off, says the operator. You vile woman. So Mr. Peace wrote you a letter, eh? You vixen, I'll on him. Where is he, the cat? I'll beat him up like Barley. And out of the bushes steps handsome Charlie. You made love to my wife. Grrr. Oh, take care, he mustn't be goaded. Look out, you darn fool, that pistol was loaded. The search is on. Where is that man? What? Oh, dear, look, that wasn't our grand. Slap, bang, yonder, hither. Charlie has them all of a dither. Yes, sir, on the tiles. Oh, what a clout. Allow me, Constable, this way out. But how does a film operate? A film is composed of little separate snapshots, or look at it closer. Each little picture is different and shows a different movement as the figure advances. In the cinema, the projector shutter, acting like this, momentarily covers the change from one little picture to the next. Notice the gentleman's legs. When the film is run rapidly at 90 feet a minute, an illusion of continuous movement is created.
Yes, holy cow. That was at least 3 films about early cinema that had been spliced together. Someone pointed out in the comments, like, where's the Lumiere brothers? What happened? So there was a British film it started off with, then it became American film, then it bounced back to the British film, maybe, but then to another American film, and oh man, what a hodgepodge. This comes from a collector, a friend of mine, who, I don't know if he compiled that onto one reel or what the deal is, but what a mess, holy cow. Let's see, what else do we want to watch here? What else? I kind of didn't plan accordingly and didn't set up a new film for you, but we're going to do that real quick. How about that, while I'm talking? And while I'm talking, if you like what you're seeing, namely me sitting here trying to figure out what to show you next, you can hit the like button or the subscribe button. You can also send us some love via the super thanks button, which is on, if you're on YouTube's chat, there's a little dollar bill symbol. You can send thanks that way. You can also buy us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks or patreon.com/avgeeks. But just watching the films, watching the other films that we've been posting, those are great things that we can do to contribute. All right, so this film is kind of a soundie. And if you don't know what a soundie is, it is basically there were these jukeboxes in the 40s and maybe into the 50s that had a little screen, a little projector, and you'd put in a nickel and it would show a music video of whatever song. And so there's amazing things out there. A real soundie is actually, if you ever get one, if you're a collector, you'll find it's actually reversed. The image is mirror reversed, and that's because the way it was projected, they reversed it so that it would project in positive. So here is Aqua Maidens. Enjoy.
in your eyes, sweet melodies of rhapsodies and dreaming, dreaming that never dies. I feel the hush of eve, the magic touch of spring, calling, calling me to love, like the angels above me when you are near me.
So some of these collections, they just get chopped right off. So I apologize for that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in today. I think we'll end a little bit early. We technically did more than an hour, and we scanned 3 films. I don't know, did you like that format? Is that something that was interesting to you, the idea that we kind of stuffed a bunch more films in there, and I only talked very briefly between the during the leader? I like it because that it's a way for me to show films that just have issues running on the machine by themselves. But yeah, let me know in the comments. As always, I appreciate your comments, and you are the reason that we do what we do. Just a reminder to please rewind and love each other, and we will be back tomorrow. Is tomorrow Friday? Holy cow. Just burned through this week. All right, everybody take care, and we will see you soon.